Welcome to the 2016 Bradley Open Championship match. It's a best 2 out of 3 here at the Collins Bowling Center here in Lexington, Kentucky. This weekend's title sponsors Hammer Bowling and New Center Consulting making this possible. Mike Flanagan, Dave Wodka, and Matt Turek here in the booth with you as we present the finals here. It's Brandon Novak getting started on the left lane, taking on the most recent national amateur champion, Chris Vi. Hi, guys.
How's it going?
How you doing?
And actually, when you asked early when we started the round of 8 who my two picks were, these were my two picks.
Yes, they were.
Guy coming off of a national amateur championship win, so all the confidence, and the defending champion, so all the confidence of being back in this building.
Yeah, the story here is Brandon Novak has an opportunity to repeat this year. The only other person to do that back in 94 and 95 was Tracy Lamberth from Hendersonville, Tennessee. This event been going on since 1979 here in Lexington, Kentucky. Collins Bowling Centers have 2 different locations, and this tournament's been going on here since 1989.
And not a bad opening shot by Chris Vi. It's a 4-pin, a little high.
Remember, this is a best 2 out of 3. They will bowl each other until one person wins 2 matches. We're happy you're with us, and we're happy you're watching online today on InsideBowling.com on our YouTube channel.
And Chris Vi misses the 4-pin to start the title match.
Runs right past it. He's had some family in the chat cheering him on. And of course, Brandon Novak, no stranger to live streaming. He's been on a lot of live streams, and so is Chris for that matter. A little bit of information about each player. We'll talk about Chris first. Chris is a national champion at Weber International. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Brandon Hahn, wasn't it? That's who he just got defeated by.
Chris Vi actually bowled for Notre Dame College up in the Cleveland area.
I do remember that. Chris Vi is the U.S. amateur champion. He's from Springfield, Ohio, 23 years old. Brandon Novak is the veteran out of the 8 at 27 years old. The 8 remaining that came into match play.
4-pin by Brandon Novak.
Brandon from Chillicothe, Ohio.
I think this match is going to go very quickly, one way or the other. Neither one of these two takes much time.
That's true.
They could go 3 games and it might be done in an hour. No problem with the spare for Brandon Novak. 10-pin lead early through 2 frames.
First place is $10,000. Second place, $4,000.
Not a bad shot. A little high for a 9-pin.
So Novak clean through 2, looking to stay clean through 3.
No problem on the spare again.
So up in the right lane now is Chris Vi, looking for a double.
Made a pretty good shot on this lane last time for a 4-pin. I don't think there's much adjustment needed. Great shot there.
He buried that, and we have not seen 23 and 24 for quite some time, as it was not used during match play, during our matches. Great fresh pair.
Great comeback there by Chris after missing the 4-pin. Just got up and threw 2 great shots after that for a double, and now has a 1-pin lead.
Oh,
big break there.
right through the nose.
Big break there. Tripping the 6-7 out for a triple.
So here's a look at Novak.
Great shot there.
You know Brandon pretty well, don't you, Dave?
I know him a little bit. I mean, I didn't know him hardly at all until I moved here, but I've gotten to know him since I moved here. He's on our staff, so gotten to have a few dealings with him.
Now, being on the EBI staff, you probably have some great insight into what bowling ball he's using.
He is throwing a track paradox at the moment. Very, very popular ball for us. It's been probably our best seller all year. That looks a little to the right, and a 2-4-5. Just a little quick with that one.
I want to thank everybody for being part of our chat and paying attention all weekend to such a great event here, the 2016 Bradley Open.
No problem on the spare again.
Now, you know, I didn't know this, Dave, but the Bradley, I didn't know if it meant for something in the town or whatever, but it's actually named after a great man who did a lot for bowling in these neck of the woods, James Bradley. He was one of the founders of the Lexington Area Bowling Association in 1940. He served as the secretary-treasurer of the Lexington Area Bowling Association from 1945 until his retirement in 1980. He passed away 4 years later. One of the founders of the Kentucky State Bowling Association as well in 1955.
Wow. Did a lot of great things for the Kentucky bowling community. You see Chris Vi there with a pretty good shot again on lane 24, blower 7.
James Bradley was also a writer, Dave. He wrote Kegler's Corner. It was a column in the Lexington Herald Leader. Did that for 38 years.
Wow, that's a long time. And Chris Vi with the spare. 10-pin lead halfway through game 1.
We see a lot of power amongst bowlers today, especially these two players, high rev rates. When James Bradley was bowling, he averaged 200 plus in the 1948-49 season, also in 49 and 50 and 50 and 51, and back then that was tough to do.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty impressive stat, actually.
He also bowled the ABCs, now known as the USBCs, 35 times.
Good look from the front, Chris Vi. And another great shot. Messenger takes out the 10.
We call that the bird dog. This one
Are you from Texas now?
is a twister. The
bird dog? Are you from Texas now?
Yeah, Missouri. I think it traveled north.
Close enough. See how Brandon responds here. And looks like he missed right again on that one. And that's what happens on this when you get it going to the right. Doesn't have to be going to the right very much.
Call that the washout, the 1-2-4-10.
You know, we've seen Brandon in every match. He struggled in game 1. Struggled in game 1. He 178 the first round and 180 the second round in game 1. And then figured it out after that.
He did exactly what you need to do to convert that spare, but unlucky not to send the head pin over at the 10 and knock it down.
Saw a lot of that this week, the head pin around the 10 on the washout. For whatever reason, it seemed like it was very easy to do that this week. Got 4-pin for Brandon. And a spare. 25-pin lead for Chris Vi in game 1 of our championship match of the 2016 Bradley. Chris Vi getting up on lane 24 with a chance to extend his lead to 35 pins. And remember, total pins don't matter. Just got to win the game. We saw that last time with last match, Brandon Novak winning by 100 one game, but total pins don't matter. Chris with missing a little left there. Gets 9. Anytime you miss on this and you get 9, you just smile and say thank you.
That's right.
No problem with the spare.
Hey Dave, tournament director and general manager here, Jason Uchwal. He has done such a great job promoting this event the last few years, digitally, online. I want to take an opportunity to thank him and his staff for allowing Inside Bowling to come even cover this event.
Yeah, thank you to Jason for allowing Hammer to be on board and sponsor the event as well. We've been excited and promoting it all year and glad to be a part of it, and hopefully we can work something out for next year as well. Great shot there. Great shot for Chris there.
He's a two-hander, but often when you think of two-handers, it's loft in the left gutter, covering a lot of boards. And we're seeing this two-hander go right up at him.
Yeah, very, very a la Kyle Troop. Brandon with a ball change. Change to Arson high flare solid. Didn't move quite far enough right. Looked like he was trying to get his angles a little straighter even than when he was throwing the paradox.
Yeah, that ball's not moving a whole lot for him. I think he's a little firm, too.
Could be just a little pumped up. Title match. First game of the title match. Got a little conversation going on in the chat about, we said the Bradley, and they were talking about Bradley Bowl in Connecticut, which is a long-time host of the PBA Tour through the 80s and 90s. Yes, Bradley Bowl was an awesome place. Mike Lickstein still works there, and I actually made a TV show there once.
It's pretty awesome.
Enjoy that place. My family is from about an hour from there. That's where we're originally from. I bowled my first ever PBA Pro-Am in Bradley Bowl in 1976 with Marshall Holman, Dennis Sweda, and Sam Flanagan. Still have my certificate from it. And my mom's got a classic picture of me and Marshall.
Brandon Novak has conceded this match and is now using other equipment to see if he can get a good read on this lane pattern. So Chris Vi is going to go up 1-0, which is no stranger, as you alluded to, for Brandon Novak. He has been behind in all of the matches so far.
He has, and if you notice on that last shot he threw, he did throw the takedown again.
He did.
And that seemed to be his go-to ball in game 2.
Ricky's been on the chat, taking care of business. TCOB.
I like that. TCOB. I would say that the advantage goes to Chris Vi right now. It looks like on this pair, if you miss left, it holds from what I've seen.
Chris's last couple shots creeped a little bit high. I wonder, you wonder, Brandon's throwing a lot of surface. You wonder if Brandon's burning up the front part of the lane a little bit. And again, this is the same as the end of the match with Brian Robinson in game 1. Chris got off to a good start. His ball kind of crept high a little bit here. Not a great shot in the 10th and a split. If Brandon gets up and throws a couple strikes, gives him some confidence. Again, total pins don't matter. Chris with a little extra shot at the pocket there, just see if he could find something. We'll see what Brandon does in the 10th. Looks like he's going to throw the takedown again. That was like world record speed. This first game is over in like 11 minutes.
Arson high flare solid.
Just not getting it to tip very much.
I really think he's firm. I really do. I don't know if it's just because he's now closer to the booth and it just looks faster being so close to it or not.
It could be. You know what?
That's important.
I was just going to say that. What an important spare that is to give him another shot to try to find something for this next game. That was a very important spare.
He bowled 300 earlier in the week. I know his equipment quite well because of the digital marketing I do for Ebonite International, but I'm surprised not to see the raw urge out here yet.
There's the takedown, and he moved a little right. Got that one going in front of him a little bit. A little better angle, I think.
So 192 to 154 in match number 1. Remember, you have to win 2 matches to take home the title. 10,000 for first place, 4,000 for second. The advantage goes to Chris Vi right now with 192. He's up 1-0.
I wasn't kidding. Like, that game literally took like 11 minutes.
It was quick.
It took Brandon Hott 11 minutes to throw one shot earlier, I think. And again, ball creeping a little bit high. Does trip the 4 out, leaves only the 9.
Stuffs it in there. Over 160 bowlers participated in this event this weekend. Started Friday with 2 hammer shootouts, a couple of sweepers. Brian Himmler took home the first one. Longtime participant in this event and big-time supporter of everything that happens here at Collins Bowling Center. He bowled 805, and then Anthony Simonson took home the second shootout, hammer shootout, bowling 711 a little bit later. And then Saturday we had 2 squads and a re-entry squad, and then the top 132 bowled last night.
Still not quite enough hook there for Brandon.
Still trying to fit it. And then this morning, the top 40 came back and bowled 5 more games with Penn carrying over. Got down to 8. We've been going through the round of 8, best 2 out of 3 matches. We had a roll-off for the 40th position last night between Zeke Bate and Mitch Beasley, and we also had a roll-off in the match earlier between Aaron Lawrence and Brian Robinson.
That's a really good spare for Brandon right there. That's not the easiest spare when your ball won't hook down the lane. That's a little bit tougher spare than it normally is. And looks like Brandon's going to ball change again. It looks like he's going back to the paradox, I think. Yep. Maybe just make a little move to the right off of where he was with it before. A little better shot there. A little better shot. Another makeable spare.
Looks like we've also got maybe some folks here from the newspaper taking notes.
Yeah. Good turnout. Yep. Good turnout here for the title match. And
Danny Collins is here, president of Collins Bowling Center.
Brandon Novak cleans up the 10-pin. Not only got a good crowd watching here live, but looks like we got a good crowd watching online now too with us.
We do.
So we appreciate you all tuning in today. And that looks a little left. And another, get 9 again. Chris has got the right angle going to break up splits. When he has errant shots, he's not leaving a lot of splits, and that was important this week. Covers the 6-pin.
I'd also like to take a minute to thank our other sponsors here, Brooks Electric. For your electric needs in the Lexington area, Brooks Electric can take care of that for you. Also want to thank Greg Earlywine. Greg Earlywine and Earlywine Painting Contractors. Greg Earlywine, 859-621-8329. If you're looking to have something painted, commercial or residential, he'll take care of you. He awarded $1,000 for the first 300 game, and Brandon Novak took that home yesterday. Also, United American Supply, supplying paper goods all throughout the Lexington area. Classic products, great distributor nationwide. And the Hampton Inn host hotel here for the 2016 Bradley Open.
And now here's the issue. That looked like a really good shot off Chris's hand. He looked like he liked it, and the ball got down there and just backed up. So he's trying to, his ball crept high, make the adjustment. Thought he threw it really good. Now it's a bucket. Not the easiest spare in the world to make.
No, you go hard and straight and you pray.
Just throw it at the one in front as hard as you can. And no issue at all. Great spare there. Does give a 4-pin lead to Brandon Novak with the count. See if Brandon can stay lined up now after he changed back to that paradox. Looked like he liked that one. And solid 9. That was a great shot. He's made 2 really, really good shots in a row now.
That one looked more on line, more up the lane, using the center part of the lane, not giving away the head pin. And just a bad break, but, you know, pick your spare. And with the count, he'll have a 3-pin lead.
And he does make the spare. Looks like he's a little more comfortable. 2 good shots in a row there. Brandon Novak up on lane 23. And trip 4. Looked like he got that one going up the lane even a little bit more.
Very high flush, very high flush. I like Brandon Novak's adjustments the last 2 shots.
He's thrown the last 3 shots pretty well. A little more lined up, looks a little more comfortable. And again, like we alluded to in the previous matches, this has kind of been his MO so far today. That looks like a really good shot. Great shot by Chris.
I'm going to tell you something. He posed that one perfectly. You know, a great tip for the kids at home that might be watching. You want to stay down through that shot until that ball gets down to at least to that break point. Running out shots, a lot of kids start to do that these days. You get hooping it up. That shot right there was delivered perfectly. Down and through the shot.
Yes, it was. And if you notice, most of the time when you do that, you make a better shot. Another really good shot there, and ball just not making it up the hill on that lane for him now.
Yeah, and you can see it too. You know what? As soon as it gets into the mid lane, you see it either read it or it just goes through it.
Yeah.
One of the two. We saw it go through it on 24, and on 23 it did not.
Yeah, and we're directly behind lane 24, so you can see it even a little easier right here. Another missed spare for Chris Vi.
I talked about it earlier. You know, I was always told that you have to hit the pin to knock the pin down. And in that particular case, he did hit the pin,
that
and it didn't fall down.
Your theory was just disproved there.
I know. That's the difference. A centimeter can make a difference between making the spare and not making the spare.
Let's see if Brandon Novak can jump on that open frame.
A little wide.
Yeah, a little wide. Leaves a 2-8. Just got a little quick with it. Little quick, gets it going just a hair too far to the right. And when I say a hair, I mean he missed just a little bit with his launch angle in the front, and it has no chance of hooking.
Chris Vi is the only bowler in the tournament that I've seen that's been able to trip a 2-pin. I've seen it once this whole weekend.
And the funny thing is, on twister pins, that's usually actually kind of a common hit.
Yeah.
That's got to hook
Is
a
it
little.
going to get over there?
Yeah, all right.
This flat oil pattern, Dave.
15-pin lead for Brandon Novak now in game 2. That looked like a better shot.
Well, that's
Great
what you
shot.
call the frozen rope.
Great
That's
shot.
the high, hard one. That's the zone he needs to be in.
It seemed to you like he took a little extra time on that one?
It did.
I noticed that he wasn't up there quite as quick as he was previous shots.
Yeah, I had a chance to look at the chat that time.
Ricky, I don't actually know the ratio of the oil pattern. As I see your question in the chat there, I would have to find out. Good shot by Chris there.
Yeah, he's seeing it right on 24, no question. This is the shot on 23. We need to see him go up and make an adjustment of some sort, whether it's a ball change, a change with his footing. It could be to where maybe he makes an adjustment with his release, or maybe he makes an adjustment with his speed. But some adjustment needs to be made on lane 23.
Yeah, his last 3 shots have been through the face, bucket, and then a flat 10. So he's going to have to do something, maybe just try to roll it a little more end over end to get it into an earlier roll there rather than making a lateral movement.
And Novak's ball was caught in the back. Looks like it's come back. I don't see any damage or anything on it. It was just caught in the back as a ball return. That's what the little delay in play was.
He did not like that one. And it's a 2-pin. He just can't get his ball to read right. Seeing his ball reaction on the left lane right now makes me think this is kind of an important game for Chris, because if it goes to a game 3, he's got to finish on that left lane. And he's had very little success on that lane so far. And another 1-pin spare miss by Chris.
Sails right past the 2-pin. The one thing I will say about Chris, though, is that, in the first match he comes out, he bowls 190. And, Novak was pretty much lost. I mean, he was throwing balls down the middle in the 8th frame just to get a feel. And it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, because Chris has been more around the pocket consistently across 2 games, but Brandon, fishing around, has found it.
Yep, and Brandon, once again, like in every other match, took him maybe a few extra frames this time to get comfortable. His last 5 or 6 shots have all been pretty good.
Yeah, if he misses, I would say about a board and a half to 2 boards right, he's staring at a 2-pin combination.
Or worse. If he misses that far, if he misses 1 right, he's probably a 2-pin. If he misses more than that, it's going to probably miss the head pin right now. Novak looking for Turkey on lane 23.
Looks pretty good.
He didn't like that one.
I saw it up the lane.
Yeah.
I thought that ball was going to push a little bit more.
A tough angle from where we're at there. Looked like he maybe grabbed that one just a tad more. Important spare here. Covers up the 3-6-10. 34-pin lead.
I find it interesting that Novak doesn't use a spare ball, a plastic ball.
Interesting too.
He switches to a different reactive ball.
It's almost that he just switches to whatever ball he's got on the rack so he can go quicker.
Yeah, so he doesn't have to wait for the other ball to come back.
Right.
He confirms that.
Looks like a pretty good shot again. And a 4-pin. He's not having any problems really on that lane. A little 4-pin there, but he's lined up on that lane and seeing it. He's going to have to figure something out on this left lane, because it's getting pretty close to going to a game 3. Covers the 4-pin. Now with a max score of 191. Brandon Novak with a max score of 225. Both on spares through 8 frames.
So do we see Chris now try a couple different balls and fish around?
It doesn't look like he's really thrown any other balls. I think he's just going to maybe fish around with a little bit of angle change. on that lane. Like
Looks like he moved right.
And ball just didn't pick up again on that lane.
The one thing every bowler said to us before they took to the lanes that we interviewed and talked to is they said that the lanes are going to be tight. And they also said that you need 500 and 1,000 Aberlon pads. Maybe this bowling ball is just lane shined itself.
It could be. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much he's changed the surface on it throughout the tournament. I know every round that I bowled, I freshened the surfaces every time. Brandon taking no time. Jumps right up. High flush. Oh, we are going to a game 3.
Well, we knew that was going to happen. The way Novak is playing the lanes reminds me of like a 1950s professional bowling telecast. I could see Dick Weber playing this line.
Yeah. That's kind of, this pattern makes your ball kind of roll like that. He looked like he moved way left on that one. If he was trying something different or what. Looked like he changed something there just to fish around, having the match locked up.
Switches to the Paradox Pearl for the spare. Now let's see what he does here.
I think he's going to throw the Paradox again, and he may go back to where he was. I think maybe that one shot was just a little fishing excursion.
Slower.
So, 205, clean. Good game, and we are going to game 3. Once again, I think the important thing to look at here is Chris Vai has had a lot of struggles on the left lane, and he's going to have to finish game 3 on the left lane now.
Read the mid lane and the messenger.
Still no problem on that lane.
Hey, great opportunity to talk about our co-title sponsors this weekend. Hammer Bowling Products with a great lineup of bowling balls from top to bottom. That Bad Intentions Hybrid, the Bad Intentions, the Badass, and other new products to be announced very, very soon. Also, the spider balls. You can never go wrong with one of the spider balls, Dave.
Yeah, they're popular for everybody. They roll good for just about everybody. And they, if you bowl somewhere where where your center has some heavier oil, that Bad Intentions Hybrid is a fantastic product for that.
And of course, we've seen a lot of arson high flare solids going down the lane. And whenever we bowl on a pattern that is the opposite of this, which is a shorter pattern, the arson low flare solid looks really good in folks' hands. So check out hammerbowling.com. Find a product that works for you, and on your next bowling ball purchase, consider a Hammer bowling ball.
Just to point out, Chris Vai shooting a couple spares in the 10th frame here.
I know it.
It's the right thing to do. You know, he missed a couple of them this game, and so shot a couple spares. Make sure he's more comfortable with it.
Interesting. Also, Dave, New Center Consulting, our other co-title sponsor. Let us make your center look like a new center. Check out New Center Consulting if you're looking to upgrade your scoring. Maybe you're looking for some help in a certain area. Let Glenn and his crew help you take your center to the next level. Maybe you bowl in a bowling center and you notice some things that could be upgraded or things that could be better. Go talk to the owner. Let them know about New Center Consulting. They can help you with your bowling center. So here we go, Dave and Matt as well.
One game for the
game.
title. Looked like a pretty good shot for Brandon Novak to start the match. Who do you give the advantage to here?
Pretty much draw. If this would have been the championship pair last year, I'd give it to Novak just by 1%, but it's a different pair. So I got it truly at 50-50, Dave. Left to target.
He's got to be thinking too. That's his good lane. He made a not less than stellar effort on that lane, so he's got to cover the spare. And this next shot, Mike's going to be the one that tells me a little more about how this match is going to go, because he's been struggling on the left lane. He didn't really have any shots last game on the left lane that were good, that the ball reacted good. And spare practice.
If you're just joining us, this is the championship match. Both players have won a game apiece. This is the rubber match. This is the last game of the tournament. The winner will take home $10,000 and second will receive $4,000.
This is a big shot for Chris right here on this left lane. See if his ball does the right thing. Looked pretty good. Oh, and
does he roll the 4-2?
No. That looked better though. Ball looked a little better on that lane that time. So seeing that now, I will agree with you. I give it a draw. I think now it's just going to come down to shot making. I don't think anybody really has an advantage here. It's just going to be shot making
and spare shooting.
And spare shooting,
which falls right into shot making. He's got it.
Chris covers the 4-pin.
He's got to breathe easy on that now. Picking a single pin spare.
Brandon wasting no time getting up. That's right at target. And ball just will not recover down the lane when it's right at target. And that's only, that one's only a half or one right at target. It's still going to hit the pocket, but really hard to make your ball go through the pins when that happens.
I mentioned that this reminds me of a 1950s telecast, and 5-7s were a leave that happened quite often back then.
Yes, they were. He threw that Paradox Pearl at the spare there. Did you happen to see that ball looked like it picked up a little bit more in the back?
It did. And that could be a drilling. It could be that the ball hasn't been lane shined. Many different reasons why.
Right. Pretty good shot there. And it's just not quite going through the pins. He's going to have to change. He's going to have to change a little bit of angle these last 7 frames.
What happens when you leave a 10-pin like that is the 6-pin, instead of going off the sideboard and into the 10, it just kind of falls off and sits in the gutter. That's exactly what happened there.
Covers the 10-pin. Chris Vi with an 11-pin lead, getting up in the 3rd frame on his good lane. So if I'm Chris Vi right now, I'm thinking, hey, you know what? I got an opening. I'm on my good lane. I just made a good shot on the bad lane. Here's my chance to really let him know that I'm here.
And he's been getting the messengers on this lane, too. So even a half pocket hit's been hitting pretty good for him on 24.
Looks a really good shot there.
And that was that half pocket hit, and they all fall down.
Pins fell a little funny, but that was a really, really good shot.
Right up the lane, keeping his angles tight, like he's done all weekend. Clean through 3 frames.
So here we go now. He's back on the left lane, the lane that's been giving him trouble. Got a chance to take a 21-pin lead early in this match.
And I got to believe that he is going to strike here.
I would agree with you. I think he made a really good shot on that lane last time, and I think he can make just a slight adjustment off of it. I think he's going to make a really good shot again. Oh, missed way right. Way right, and the 2-pin. Chris covers up the 2-pin. And now Brandon will get back up on lane 24. And what kind of adjustment do you make here? Your ball Hit a little flat the last 2 shots.
I think I just stuff it in there again.
See what happens.
Maybe move my target in a half board.
He did move it in a little bit and got it to hook early, but got away with it. Again, when you miss and you get 9, you smile, say thank you, and make your spare.
Matt Turek's been our crack producer this weekend. Matt, thank you for all your hard work this weekend, buddy.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure.
You got a pick here in the match?
Yeah, I think Chris Vi is going to spare him to death.
Okay.
I think he's going to be on his A game on the spare shooting, and I think it's going to be close.
It's a good shot by Brandon right there. Great shot. Looked like he slowed it down a little bit that time.
Yeah, and he did. I thought he slowed down a little bit on the fill ball as well.
Good shot right there. So still 12-pin match. Chris up on the good lane for him.
I like what Turek said, that Vi's going to spare him to death.
He missed 2 last game, and he looked so frustrated at it that I don't think he's going to miss any this game. Not makeables anyway.
Hooks a little right. And rolled the 2-pin, just didn't get the 7 to go with it.
I think if right now they were qualifying and the lanes were transitioning the way that they are right now, in 2 games, both players would be capable of bowling 250.
I would tend to agree with you, because they're just going through a little bit of transition right now at a at a tough time. Covers up the 7-pin. Still searching for that first strike on the other lane since the first game.
I do want to state, too, that, the two-handed delivery, is less controversial now because so many people do it. And Chris is one of the best at it. And it's not easy to do. I tried it for a while, Dave.
I've tried it a few times, just kind of messing around. And
I had to go to 13 pounds just to even generate any ball speed.
It puts your body in a really awkward position. That looked like a pretty good shot there. Oh, my.
Oh.
Wow, that was a great shot.
It looked like the 7-pin jumped off about an inch and spun around 360 degrees and dropped back down.
Unbelievable shot by Chris there on the lane he's been struggling on. But he's got to get up, make the spare. He's got to put that out of his head. It's a 10-pin match now, and Brandon Novak now has a chance to get up and tie the match with a strike right here in the 6th frame.
He hit that twister pin so hard that it looked like it kind of just went across the back of the deck. Looked like it would have picked the entire back row.
Big shot for Brandon right here. This is to tie the match in the 6th frame. And that looks right. That looks right. And he leaves a nasty 2-7-8. Didn't lose any count, but this is not a very easy spare to make right now. A little quick with that one.
Woohoo!
Pretty good spare there.
Oh, my.
Really good spare.
Oh, my.
Keeps it at a 10-pin match.
Dave, what's the right way to pick the 2-7-8? I've never been able to figure it out.
I mean, that was close to how you're supposed to make it. You're supposed to hit the right side of the 2-pin like you were shooting a 2-8 and have the 2 go into the 7. That looks like a good shot. And
saws the 5 out. They call that the old
shot.
squasher.
I like to call it the can opener.
Oh, I like that, man. That's even better.
so he didn't lose any count on the spare, which was big. Kept it at exactly a 10-pin match. Now Chris getting up on his better lane again. And he didn't like that one. That was left. Almost trips the 4 out.
He's going so up the lane, though, with that end-over-end roll that even a shot left off his hand has a chance of striking. He sends so many pins everywhere.
And that's one of the advantages of the two-handers with the higher rev rate. They break up a few more splits. They throw pins around a little bit more. It's the rev rate and the ball speed. And another spare right in the face.
So a possible 226 for Chris Vi if he were to strike off the sheet. And Brandon Novak can strike out for 227.
We have a close match, just like it should be.
It's exactly the way we want it here at the 2016 Bradley Open. Dave Wodka, Mike Flanagan, and Matt Turek here with you.
3 frames to go. 9-pin lead for Chris Vi on a spare on the harder of the 2 lanes for him. He did make a great shot on this lane last frame. Looks like a good shot again. And there's the one he was looking for. Great shot on that lane.
That was awesome. Here in the 8th frame, he goes up, does exactly what he needs to do, makes Brandon Novak think about it. We wouldn't have it any other way here. Brandon Novak now, a couple of huge shots for him.
Yeah, Brandon now has the hammer. He controls his own destiny.
Ball in hand, match in his hand. 8th frame.
That's a good shot. Man, that was a great shot right there.
This is almost like wrestling or something. Brandon has the championship belt and he doesn't want to give it up. Defending champion Brandon Novak says, "Do not take my belt, Chris Vi."
Big shot for Brandon right here. Brandon strikes right here, then no matter what Chris Vi does in the 9th and 10th, he cannot be shut out.
What do you think?
Little left, and 4-7.
It's otherwise known in the bowling world as the Fast 8.
So he went from a 1-pin lead to a 1-pin deficit now. And now Chris Vi is going to get up in the 9th and 10th with a chance to put it away. Brandon covers the spare.
Just goes up there and just rifles it at the spare, covers it with no problem.
A max of 205 for Brandon. Chris Vi found himself in the same situation just a few days ago in Las Vegas with a chance to shut out Cameron Doyle.
Needed a double in the 10th frame, and he did it. Let's see if he can set it up for the 10th frame right here in the 9th frame. Critical shot in the match here for Chris Vi here at the 2016 Bradley Open.
It's pretty good. Oh, whoa. But he looked like he liked that one off his hand, too. Got it going a little bit up the lane, maybe.
He's wasting no time. He's going to chuck it at this 4-6.
That 1 pin is still very important here.
Cannot bounce out the twister pin. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. 194 max score now.
Brandon Novak pacing at 195. So if Chris Vi strikes out, Brandon will have to fill 20 in the 10th.
Otherwise, 9 spare strike. We do have
a tie.
Or a strike.
Strike 9, yeah.
9 out.
We still have a lot of possibilities for a tie.
But right here, Chris Vi's got to get up and make an all-important great shot right here.
Oh, that was way left again. And a 6-pin.
Crosses over.
Brandon Novak's going to need a mark in the 10th to win his 2nd consecutive Bradley Open title. Be the first person since Tracy Lamberth in 1994 and 1995 to defend his title here. Count still important here for Chris. Strike here is still very important. And he does get the strike.
Okay, so it's 184 for Chris Vi.
Brandon Novak needs a mark.
Yes, he does.
Anything less than a mark, Chris Vi will win. Wasting no time, as usual. And a pretty good shot, and there's your winner for the second straight year, Brandon Novak, 2016 Bradley Open champion.
He did it. He defended it. Tracy Lamberth, move over. You've got company. Two people have won this tournament now back-to-back years, as you mentioned, Lamberth in 94 and 95. And Brandon Novak can come back next year and have an opportunity to do what only Tony Lambert has done, which is won 3 of these events. Can he go back-to-back-to-back? We will have to wait and see. But for now, it's $10,000 for Brandon Novak, and he's got to feel good about this victory.
Yeah, he just hung in there. Just tried to not get in trouble. He hung in there. And the big shot was the shot in the 9th on Chris's good lane where he thought he liked it and just went through the face for a 4-6.
Hats off to Chris Vi as well. He's had a great week here over the last 7 days. Finished his second here at the Bradley. Nothing to hold his head about. He's bowled tremendously well. Congratulations to him. $4,000 richer. And that's going to do it for us, but we will come back with an interview with Brandon Novak. We do want to talk to him, and I think we've got some goodies for him as well. So, Dave, thanks so much for being part of our webcast. And Matt, of course, thanks for producing as always.
Yep.
When we come back, we will have an interview with Brandon Novak here from Lexington, Kentucky at the Bradley Open. Thank you. 2 years in a row, you were able to take home this title, one of the toughest oil patterns I've ever seen. How are you feeling right now after winning the event?
Pretty good, speechless. To do it 1 year is awesome. 2 years in a row, I didn't think it would happen.
Yeah, you made quite a few ball changes in the championship match. I want to talk about that a little bit. Take me through your thought process with all the different balls you were using and why.
The first game, I was completely lost for the entire game. Everything was burning up. Everything just wasn't hooking. Then finally, I just found the right ball. Second game, and then went from there.
Yeah, and I know you have some people to thank. I know you bowl full-time, and you have some people that have helped you get here. Who would you like to thank?
Dave Wodka and Ebonite for allowing me to throw the best equipment in the world. Turbo grips. Jason Lundquist for drilling my bowling balls. Marlon Thomas. You guys for hosting this live stream and everything.
Yeah, it's a classy event. It's our first time here, and it's been incredible watching you bowl. And last but not least, I have to ask, this is a really cool check you have right here for $10,000. I'm sure that's going to look great at your house, but do you know what you're going to do with that $10,000?
I actually have no idea right now. I haven't made any plans yet. No idea.
All right, buddy. We'll have a safe trip back home. There's a little bit of snow on the ground, so don't drive too fast with too much excitement, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, that's Brandon Novak. He's our 2016 champion here at the Bradley Open. And the Bradley Open, make sure you get your entry in early for next year because the Bradley Open is going to be going strong. 37 years. Next year will be the 38th edition. We hope that we're back. I think we'll be back. And thanks to all the sponsors also this weekend. I'm Mike Flanagan from InsideBowling.com here with the champion. Thanks so much for watching this weekend, everybody participating in the chat and being part of our webcast. We'll see you on our next one coming up next month from Iowa at the Fusion Realtors Open, February 23rd and 24th. Good night, everybody.